few cues. So let's just start off. Alignment, feet flat on the floor, heels in line with the sit bones, pelvis is nice and firm down into the mat. Keep your natural curl of your spine, don't push down into your lower back and make sure there's no arch. Find that natural curve. Shoulders are down into the mat, put those arms long down beside you, palms facing down. Chin is tucked, just lift up your head slightly, tuck the chin as if you're holding an apple underneath your chin and your chest, and lay down your head again. If you find that your chin is going higher than your forehead, place a pillow behind your head because we want to maintain that nice long spine, okay? So if you do find yourself up here during class, try and just tuck the chin again, right? That's so important that we keep that spine nice and long and equal. All right, so let's just quickly focus on the breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Lateral breath into the ribs. Exhale out through your mouth through pursed lips. Deep breath in again. Exhale out, relax the jaw, let the shoulders melt down towards the mat, okay? One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Let's just bring those arms into it. So inhale as you bring the arms up and back. Careful not to flare those ribs, keep them soft. Exhale out through the mouth, let the ribs sink down into the mat. Keep the spine as it is, try not to move it. Deep breath in again, bring the arms behind you. Try not to bring the shoulders up to ears, keep them in the sockets. Feel that stretch through the arms. Exhale out, feeling those ribs go down towards the mat. Lovely. Let's do one more. Inhale through the mouth, arms behind. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Now let's bring some movement into the legs, keeping the arms down. Inhale first to prepare. Exhale as you draw the belly button in and up under the ribs as you lift the right leg up. Knee over hip, shin parallel to the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale as you slowly let that leg go down towards the mat. Nice and slow as if you're moving through molasses, moving from your center. Deep breath in. Exhale as you lift up the left leg. Keeping that 90-degree angle, knee over hip, shin parallel to the ceiling. Inhale again, exhale out. So let's bring both knees up one at a time. Let's start with the right knee, deep breath in. Exhale as you bring that up. Using your center, deep breath in again. Exhale as you bring the other leg up. Now watch that lower back, don't dump into it. Use that center, that belly button, in and up, in towards the spine, up under the ribs. Imagine you're putting on a tight pair of jeans. So you want to hold that position here and just breathe. Now we're going to bring those heels down towards the mat by just 2 inches as you exhale. So inhale first to prepare, exhale out. Let the heels drop. Inhale, bring them back. So the temptation here is for your lower back to get involved. So this is where you've really got to tap into that center. Use that breath. So inhale to prepare, exhale. Draw the belly button in and up. Inhale, bring it back. Lovely. One more. Deep breath in, prepare. Exhale, let the heels drop. And bringing them back in. Super. So let's just bring one leg down, then the other. And let's move into our hundreds. We're going to layer up the hundreds, starting with the basic. So inhale again, bringing those arms behind you. As you exhale, I want you to lift your head, bringing your chin to chest, moving with those arms forward. Then you're lifting your shoulders off the mat and you're gazing down towards your navel. Deep breath in. As you exhale, start flapping those arms. So imagine that you're splashing into the ocean, really flapping in the water. Temptation here is for your whole body to wobble. So just keep that torso really steady using your breath. Inhaling through the mouth, exhaling out. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Now reach those fingertips towards your heels. That's it. As you keep flapping those arms up and down, trying to keep the torso nice and still. So you're inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. Let's keep going. Inhaling for 5. At any stage, if you have neck pain, let that head go back. Take a break. Keep moving those arms. And on your next exhale, if you want to come back up, please do. But really reach those fingertips towards your heels. We're talking about length here, and it may even lift you up a little bit more. So let's do a few more. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Drawing that belly button in and up. Not letting it jump into that lower back. That's it. Lovely. One more set for me. Exhale. And let's just go down nice and slow. Well done. Watch that neck, chin to chest, keeping it nice and long. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Then your left leg, and just let that lower back relax a little. Just check in with how you feel right now, okay? Just let the jaw relax. Let both knees go to the left and look to your right, just to get a nice thoracic twist here. Not overly doing it, see where you're at. Feeling into your body. Where did you feel the stress? Where were you holding it? Maybe think about letting that go next time. Let's bring the knees over to the other side. Look to the left. Lovely. Or whichever way that you're going right now. Just look in the opposite direction. Then bringing the knees back in towards your chest. If you can, bring your forehead in towards your chest, just to give yourself a little bit of a squeeze, okay? So bringing those feet back down onto the mat. We're going to do a few little pelvic tilts here before we get into our bridge, okay? So with our pelvic tilts, I want you to just start with a nice neutral spine. Check in with your neck, make sure it's nice and long. Arms down by your side, fingertips reaching towards the heels. So I want you to imagine you have a blueberry in your lower back, and you're going to push that blueberry down with that lower back. So what's going to happen here is your tailbone's going up towards the ceiling. And then release that away back down. So you're going back to where you started from. Let's bring the breath into that. Deep breath in. Exhale out through the mouth as you squash that blueberry. Lovely. You bring some awareness into your feet as well. Big toe mound, baby toe mound, and heel. And let's just keep doing that for a few more breaths. So as you exhale on the effort, as you're squashing that blueberry, that's when you exhale. Drawing the belly button in and up, using all of those muscles around your pelvis and your center to control the movement, that slight movement of your pelvis, okay? Let's do another 2. That's it. Final 1. Lovely. So let's go into our bridge now. I want you to think about putting all of your pressure into your feet. Just pushing down, big toe, baby toe, mound, heel. Arms down beside you, palms facing down. Again, think about pushing down into your upper arms and let your chest just expand here. We'll do that with breath. Deep breath in. Exhale as you push into the feet and the upper arms. Do that one more time for me. Deep breath in. Exhale as you push down into your feet and upper arms. Lovely. So this time, we're going to squash that blueberry and you're going to start lifting your hips up towards into your bridge. So deep breath in. Exhale as you squash down. You're going to articulate the spine here, assuming that you have no back injuries. Coming up nice and slow. Slow articulation as you're pushing down into your feet. Hips are lifting. Now I want you to think about pushing down into your heels and dragging them in towards your bum and bringing your bum towards your heels, okay? Ooh, I've actually got a little bit of a cramp there. I'm going to bring my heels in just a little bit closer to see if that really helps there. Now I want you to imagine that your knees are getting long. They're shooting towards the wall in front. Okay, that'll really open up the hip flexors here for you as well. So take another deep breath while you're up here. And let's soften the chest. Exhale as you come back down, articulating the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Lovely. Let's do that again. Deep breath in. Exhale as you squash that blueberry, drawing the belly button in and up, lifting the heels up. As you lift up, imagining that the knees are getting longer, they're pushing towards the wall in front. You're lengthening through the body. Breathe here, take a few breaths. Lovely. On your last exhale, articulating the spine down, nice and slow. Chest, lower back, middle back. So if you do have any spinal issues, try and come up with flat back. We'll do that next, so deep breath in. As you exhale, push down into your heels. Before you lift, draw your heels to your bum to your heels. Now I want you to imagine that you are just connected. You are connected basically from your pelvis right up towards your head, and that's one piece that you're just going to move, right up towards your ribs. So really what we're doing here is we're lifting up one piece. We're not articulating the spine, okay? So you're holding that, you're drawing the heels towards the bum towards the heels. You're in your lift right now. Take 2 breaths here. One last breath. And you're coming down, imagining you're drawing your heels to your bum to your heels, coming down with your flat back. Protecting that spine. Lovely. Let's draw those knees in towards you again, just to offer a little bit of release. And just breathe and rock from side to side, letting that lower back really just relax down, okay? So now we're going to move on to our sides, and we're going to just do a little bit of side lying. So when you're side lying on your mat, just make sure that you use the back of the mat to make sure that you're in alignment. So everything should be in alignment, shoulders, hips, head. Looking straight ahead. I know the temptation's there to look down, okay? Let's bend both knees so you have that support. Checking in, you can put your head on your arm for now, and I want you to think about lifting up through the hips here, okay? So imagine grabbing your t-shirt and just lifting it up so a little mouse can get in under there. So now we're really activating our center here as well. Very easy for us to just let that go. So again, think about lengthening through your hips, pushing those hips down, lifting up. So let's take that top leg, lift it up. You can place your arm down in front, and we're just going to go up and down. So lengthen through that heel to start, flex that foot, lengthen down, lengthen through the crown of the head, deep breath in. Let's exhale as you lift, inhale as you go down. Now as you're doing this, it's not about how high you can go, it's really about that length. So you're really working through that waist. You can feel that you've lifted here, and you're reaching with that heel, and you're reaching with the crown of the head, looking straight ahead. Let's go and do another 5, 4, 3. So where do you use your exhale here? Where you find it most difficult. Maybe it's when you're lifting. Inhale down. Exhale up. You can even bring your arm into this if you want. Lengthen that arm with your legs so you can really feel that length happening. Last one. Sorry, I think I went over 5 there. And bring that leg down. So let's go into our leg circles. So again, lifting that leg. Hip height is just fine. Really push through that heel. You're flexing that foot. You can see here I flex my foot. And I'm going to start with my circles. So circling forward. Now I want you to think about really going back with that heel, okay, and doing a full circle. The temptation for your body here is to go back with your circle. So try and keep everything still and quiet. Pelvis is quiet, torso is quiet. You're just moving and lengthening that leg as you're going through your circles. Hips should still be, you should be lifted here from your hips, your center. That little gap should be visible, or you should feel it. And now, let's go back up to 12 o'clock and let's change direction. So you're bringing the heel behind and then you're coming forward. Again, watch that body. It's going to want to start falling back as you go back with that leg. That's it. Let's do another 5. Even when you get to 12, you can pause and use your breath. So up, pause, exhale as you go round your clock again. That's it. Inhale at 12. Exhale. You should be feeling the burn by now if you're lengthening through that leg as well. One more. And relax the leg, bringing it back. So while we're here, let's go into some clams. Bring the heels together. Open up the knees. Let's close. Now, I want you to think about this coming from your glutes, but keep that waist lifted for me, okay? So deep breath in. Exhale as you open the knees. Inhale as you close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Keeping that lift through the waist for me. Looking straight ahead. Try not to look down. Lovely. Cat is passing me by. Thought I locked her up. Oh well. That's it. Keep going. I want to feel it working from your bum here, right? Your little glutes. That's it. Keep going for me. Now, if you want a little bit more fizz in this, you can lift up those heels. That's it. And then you're working through a different part of your glutes here, but you're still really, what we're doing here is stabilizing the hip muscles here, okay? That's it. Let's go for another 3, 2, last one. Super. So let's just come up to sitting for now before we move on to the other side. So just coming to your center, you can fold those legs. And I just want us to think about our posture here for a second. Maybe this isn't comfortable for you. Just bring the legs out here, okay? So let's think about, again, shoulders over hips. And then exhale as you fold forward. Just giving yourself a bit of a breather here. Inhale into the back body. Exhale out as you stay forward. Now let's move to the other side. So you're coming down on the opposite side and you're still facing me, okay? So check in with your alignment, making sure that everything is as it should be. Sorry, I just realized that I was going to the wrong side there. So I'm lining myself up with the back of the mat, making sure that I'm lovely in alignment. Head, shoulders, hips, and then my knees are forward, okay, in a 90-degree angle, and they're bent. So let's lie down onto that hand again. Let's find that lift in the waist, stacking everything here as well. Finding that lift right here. That's it. And let's lengthen through that top leg. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. So as I said, it's not about how high you go or how fast. So try and keep that movement nice and slow so you can really feel working through here. Lengthening through that heel. Bring the arm in if you want. I'm inhaling as I go down. I'm exhaling as I lift up. Drawing that belly button in and up. Keeping my waist lifted here as well. I know there's a lot to think about. But when you slow it down and you really start thinking about the movement, that's when it clicks. Take your time. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Keep that leg up and let's do the circles. Place your hand in front and let's come forward into our circles. Think about the 12 o'clock on top. Inhale. Exhale as you bring the foot forward and then bringing the heel behind you. So doing a full circle if you can. Again, it's not how big your circle is here. It's about that control without moving your torso, without arching that back, without going back on your shoulders. You want to imagine that you're between 2 panes of glass and you're keeping that position there. Let's change direction when you get to 12 o'clock. Lovely. So let's go the opposite direction that you were going. Lovely. You should really feel it now, keeping the length through the crown of the head, keeping the length shooting out through the heels. Last one. Lovely. Bring that leg down, give yourself a bit of a rest, even a little bit of a pat. Checking in those hips aren't coming forward, really stacking them up on top of each other again, okay? Bring those heels together. Inhale, exhale as we open up those heels. Inhale, bring them down. I want you to think about this movement coming from your glutes. So it's not really just about you bending those knees and lifting up those knees, okay? You can make it a little bit harder by lifting the heels up, keeping the knees down, and then not having that much support, but working more into that area. Again, check in with the waist. Are you slopping down into that waist? Keep that gap. You can see it just there if you look up. See the gap is still there for me. I'm lifting those hips up. Always thinking about that lengthening, right? That's the key. Let's do 2 more here. You should feel it. Last one. And down and rest. Lovely. Let's go on to all 4s. Moving swiftly. Okay, so let's check in with our alignment here. If you do have any wrist issues, you can fold over your mat. You can also go onto your fists, or you can bring those hands a little bit further from your shoulders, okay? If you're okay, bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Of course, knees under hips for everybody. We want to keep that alignment there, okay? Temptation here is to let that head hang. Really let the back of the neck be drawn up towards the ceiling. Chin is slightly tucked here again. So let's bring some movement. Deep breath in. As you exhale, drawing the belly button in and up, you're going to bring the left leg out. Inhale, bring it in. So what I'm looking for here is that your hips are not going to move. You're moving from the center. You're just inhaling and exhaling, using your center to move that leg. Everything else is still, okay? Spine is quiet. Hips are quiet. Lovely. And just come back from where you started. This time we're going to lift that same leg. Deep breath in. Exhale as you slide it out and lift. Now watch that lower back. Just lift it as much as you can without arching. Maybe tuck that tailbone just slightly so that you're not bringing it into the lower back. Again, it's not about height. It's about length, and it's about just lifting to where you can without bringing it into the lower back. Let's pulse. I know you've been holding it, but let's pulse for 5, 4. Use your breath. Don't lose it. 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. So check in. Are you still pushing away from that mat? Activating the scapula. Those shoulder blades are there to keep you steady. Let's work the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale as you slide that leg out. Inhale, bringing it in. Exhale, bring it out. Keeping everything still and quiet. Push away from that mat with those hands. Fingers are spread. That's it. Keep the head where it is, in line with the spine. I know you may want to drop it. Don't let that happen. Keep that integrity. Now let's bring that knee in. Deep breath in here. Exhale as you bring the leg out, and we're going to lift it. Tuck tuck the tailbone slightly for me, and then let's pulse. 5, 4. Keep breathing for me. Don't lose that breath. Don't let it go into the lower back. 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee back in. Let's go into a child's pose. Open up the knees, going back onto your heels. Let the arms reach to the top of the mat and just breathe. Okay, so now we're just going to lie forward onto the mat, facing down, and we're going to do a little swan here, okay? So let's start off. Sorry, hopefully you can still hear me with my mic. Let's start off with your hands beside just where your shoulders are, okay? So your elbows are slightly away from you. So you got that swan position there, okay? Now those legs are long. You can point those toes if you can. Now you can tuck them if you want, if you feel that's better. If not, just lay them down so that where the laces would be typically, I want you to push down into the laces and reach and almost feel like your knees are lifting off the mat as well. There, you've activated that area. Now it's important that you tuck the pubic bone down towards the mat. So you're bringing the pubic bone gently down towards the mat, which you will feel that lifts your center, your belly button away from the mat towards your ribs up and under, okay? So we move from the center as well. But let's start off by just lifting the arms up and down, keeping the head down, okay? So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Where does this lift come from? I want you to think about the scapula, okay? The back of your upper back. So we're just lifting the arms from there. Imagine that you've got maybe an acorn between your shoulder blades, and as you lift the arms up, you're trying to squash that acorn. Lifting. So we're just strengthening the back body here. We live a lot of our life forward, leaning forward on our computers, on our phones. Lovely. Last one for me. Are those legs still lengthening? Is your pubic bone down into the mat? And relax back down. So we're going to lift the head this time, but again, I want you to think about the length, right? Crown of the head is lengthening. Imagine there's a marble under your nose, okay? Inhale here. Exhale. As you lift the head slightly, you're going to start pushing that marble to the top of the mat. As you're doing that, your shoulders are melting towards your waist. So those shoulders are moving away from your ears. Again, you've activated those shoulder blades we did already. And you're going to gaze to the top of the mat. Inhale here and exhale, keeping that breath. Pubic bone down into the mat, legs are long. You're pushing those laces down into the mat so your knees are up. Only go as far as you can without letting that lower back be compromised. Now think about the collarbone shining to the top of the mat as your shoulders move down towards your hips. Really is about extending that upper back. Deep breath in here. Exhale as you come down nice and slow. So do that again one more time for me, but let's just check we're ready. Legs are nice and long, pubic bone down into the mat, belly button in and up, deep breath in. As you exhale, start bringing those shoulders away from your ears down towards your waist as you start pushing that marble to the top of the mat. Gazing to the top of the mat, but not letting everything dump into your lower back, okay? You've got to really let that chest shine forward. Keep the pubic bone down towards the mat, belly button in and up. Can you lift those arms up? That's really going to check if you're using your center here. And down. Do it again. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift those arms. Inhale. And let's come down on the next exhale. Pushing back away from your mat into your child's pose. Lovely. Reaching forward to the top of the mat. Deep breath in here. Exhale out. Lovely. So let's